Hello, I am here with one of Dragonfly's favorite, I'll say it, supporters. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, my name is Mike Beckham. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Simple Modern.
And Simple Modern has been supporting Dragonfly for years, and your support has enabled us to do some pretty big things that we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise to serve the human trafficking survivors that are at Dragonfly. And so I just wanted to ask you, what about the cause of human trafficking in general resonates with you?
Well, when we started dedicating the company to giving 10% every year, which is a huge part of who we are, our mission statement is we exist to give generously. We realized very quickly we were going to have to pick some areas of focus because we
Hmm.
were inundated. Unfortunately, the world is full of things that need to be given towards and need to
Hmm.
be addressed. And we are just one company. We can't, fix everything or even fix anything, but we can make a dent in some key areas if we focus resources. So as a team, we started to ask internally, what is it that we want to focus our giving towards? And one of my personal things was that I wanted the company's giving to not just be a reflection of my desires, but really a reflection
Hmm.
of the entire team. What were we passionate about? So that was one criteria that we looked at. And another criteria we looked at is what do we want the kind of geographic impact footprint to be? And what we came to is there were a few causes, and human trafficking was one of them, but there was a lot of passion. And I think in general, it's because it's protecting those that are more vulnerable in
That's
our society, and that's probably a common thread that runs through all of our different giving initiatives. But then we loved having a human trafficking partner that was based locally.
right.
That there's a couple of other national organizations and one international organization that we're partnered with, but we really wanted to have someone local as well, and so Dragonfly was a natural choice.
I think one of our favorite things about you guys at Dragonfly is exactly what you're saying. We've had the opportunity over the past few years to interact with a lot of staff members. We've done volunteer days here 3 times, I think,
Yeah.
where the whole staff gathers around and we bring projects for them to work on. And then we've had a few staff members, the champions for
Mm-hmm.
each organization, I think is what you call them. And so we've been able to get to know a few much more closely. Every single person is just delightful. I mean, that's really the word for it. And when we come here, we can feel the that wraparound
Mm-hmm.
support of the whole staff. And so, I mean, we can attest to the fact that it's not just a reflection of you. It really is every person that we interact with. You can feel that enthusiasm and you can feel like the buy-in of like the staff people who work here. And that's been really special for
Yeah.
us. Is there anything in particular that Dragonfly does or stories or anything that has resonated with you all? Simple Modern.
Well, you hear the stories of people whose lives have been, quite frankly, just really terrible. They've been in
Yeah.
really terrible circumstances where they were mistreated, abused, kind of imprisoned, and when you hear stories of people being freed from that, it is both depressing and encouraging at the same time.
Right.
It's sad that it's sad we have to have this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It is sad that some human beings treat others in that way, objectify others in that way, enslave others in that way. Um, but it's also when you realize that you get to be a part of somebody experiencing freedom, that's a really powerful thing. And I think for our staff, one of the reasons why you felt the wraparound as you described it is that we really recruit around our organization exists to give towards things, and we want every single person here to be a leader in generosity. Now, that's going to look
Mm-hmm.
different depending on who they are. Like many of our people are situated very differently than I am. They're in a different stage of life. Their finances look different. That their family lives look different. And so, what we really emphasize is that generosity, giving, it's so much more than just writing checks. It's also how do you use your time? How do you use your skills? How do you use your talents? What do you advocate for? And that every single person in this organization can be a leader when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to giving. But it's everybody's responsibility to figure out what is that way that they can lead and being kind of holistically involved, emotionally involved in the causes that we support, I think helps a great deal with that. That it's not just we write checks, it's that we show up
Yeah.
and we try to be emotionally and mentally engaged in these causes. And I think as a result, like you said, we've got a team that deeply cares about these issues. And I think the most simple principle is we don't do anything very profound. We sell water bottles, and I'm glad people like them. And
Literally use mine all day, every day. I'm
which
not
I
kidding.
love. We wouldn't have
It's
a
real,
business if it wasn't
right?
true. But it's not particularly profound. But what is profound is when we're able to show our people that when you do that with excellence, as
Yeah.
mundane as making a water bottle can be sometimes, when you do that with excellence, someone doesn't get trafficked or someone gets released from human
Mm-hmm.
trafficking and experiences freedom. And that is really powerful to know that excellence in doing your job well here actually impacts the lives of people, many of whom you don't know. And so we're really trying to create that kind of culture. Everybody's bought in. Everybody's a part of leading in generosity in a number of different ways.
We feel that at Dragonfly.
Mhm.
We feel the impact of whatever it is that each individual is passionate about, whatever they have to give, truly makes an impact. And sometimes that can be hard to communicate to people because maybe you're like, oh, well, I just did this one little thing. Oh, no. First of all, it takes a lot of little things to build something big and to have a big impact. And so I appreciate that that is the culture here. It really does, like, it makes such a real impact for people we serve. So then, Mike, if there are people who are considering maybe giving to Dragonfly for the first time, there's a lot of places that people could give toward. But if they're considering giving to Dragonfly for the first time, or maybe they would like to increase their giving or get involved in a deeper way, what would you say to them?
I would say, and this is more generally what I would say about giving, is that giving is a really unique act in that both parties walk away from it better than they were before. That personally, when I'm a part of giving, not only do I know that I'm a part of impacting people's lives and making a real world difference, but I'm changed. And I'm changed for the better. The way that I describe it often is that um, we have better and worse impulses, and all of us can be very prone to selfishness. Like I can talk myself into wanting to keep all of my money for myself, all of my time for myself, but that's not the person that I want to be, and I don't think it's the person that anybody wants to be. And that when I engage in giving, and specifically sacrificial giving, where it actually
Yeah.
costs me
Mhm.
something, where I can't go get that drink from Starbucks because instead I gave that money away, where I can't go buy the new TV or whatever, where I'm saying I'm going to give up something personally for the betterment of someone else. I think at a fundamental level it transforms your character, your soul in a way that you're growing towards the person that you want to be. And so it's interesting. Like I would say, give for others. It's a worthy cause, but give for yourself
Yeah.
because you're never going to be able to experience the things that you want to experience or become the person that you want to become by having a self-absorbed worldview. And so for me, generosity's been an incredible pathway to growing towards the person that I want to be. And I'm continuing to ask myself and think about how I can stretch myself more in this area. Yeah,
Thank you so much for joining us today, Mike.
absolutely.
We appreciate you all
Thanks for
so
having me.
much.
And thanks for all the work that